If your window liner looks anything like this, it is long overdue for change. I stuck this top piece in here that you can kind of see flapping out. That is just window trim sealant, weather sealant, sorry, from Lowe's. It's like $4. It held off quite a while, for a long time. This is what it looked like before, because the top piece was completely gone. And what I did is I actually wrapped the roof, and I thought, you know, I'm not going to change this until I re-wrap the roof, because it was my first time wrapping a roof, and I did a pretty poor job of it, but I'm too lazy for that now, so I'm going to replace this. This is a trim removal tool, flathead pick, but let's just see what I can get away with here. First fair warning is this is a windshield. It can crack like tempered glass screen protectors on the phone, so try not to pull too hard when you're pulling these things out from around here, because I just feel like someone's going to accidentally crack the windshield and just be really angry that you started this. The front flat piece here looks like it kind of just folds out, and you can kind of see on the bottom here, this just sits on the glass, so I'm just going to pull it outwards. It's going to crumble into pieces. I'm actually going to get a plastic bag or something to put this in, but you can see it forms a C and just comes around the edge here. So this is the one where I'm going to kind of pull it away from me, and basically what I'm focusing on here is getting this lower lip of the C, the part that tucks under, trying to gently pull that out without cracking the glass. Really, this is just taking minimal effort right now. Let me pull the weather stripping out. It's so satisfying because this ugly thing has been here forever. But if you want a quick fix, actually this lasted quite a while, it's just adhesive on the back. I think I said this in another video, but looks like that. When it's not warped, it's a little straighter, but it's like $4 for a roll at Lowe's, and you can put it in the front and back. The back actually is holding up fairly decent with that. Okay, so that piece broke off, but let's see. You can see the C. Oh, you can see the metal poking through here. That's what you want to be careful of, is the part that's sitting underneath. You want to kind of pull it away and bend it outwards like this, so it doesn't catch the glass. The worst part of this is going to be keeping it clean. Vacuum up what you can, brush off what you can, and then you're going to have to eventually clean this out. In fact, I'll show afterwards, but the whole screwdriver the whole side is stuck to the wall, unfortunately. So probably the sooner you tackle this, the easier it would be. Let's tackle the top really quick. So mine's already completely out. Well, you can see mine's completely gone. This is probably the part you want to be most careful of. Yeah, this one feels a little tougher, so I'm going to use two hands, but you can see now how it kind of pulls out. Now I'm going to angle the bottom upwards to try to twist it out like that. This one is actually a really thick piece of metal. I can feel it. So once it seems to get started, the rest will kind of come off. So just take it easy. Okay. This thing's pretty eaten away, you can see. And the inside. There we go. Hell, you know, even pliers, if your fingers are kind of fat. My fingers are kind of fat. I can't really grasp this well. Pliers may help, even needle nose, to just get the lip. Just a couple of notes. Make sure to clear the edge of the channels out. Make sure you get all the pieces that are stuck in there. And then I'm going to blow this out with compressed air. And then be careful of this, it's kind of brittle too. And then make sure you vacuum or get something to sweep this up to try to keep track of all these little, I suggest vacuuming it first. Vacuum the tracks first to get what you can, the bigger stuff, and then go from there. if your corners are completely destroyed like mine were, make sure you get out the plastic parts that are left. You can see which, you're gonna have to look closely with a flashlight, but you can see which part is the sealant they use, whether it's butane or I'm not sure what it is, but you can kind of see the sealant that's rippled out. You don't want to pick that out. That's for the windshield itself. But if you didn't get the corner piece because it was destroyed like mine, make sure you grab the little chunks out. Also with the window trim here, all I did was scrape down like this with the trim removal tool, and then I'm going to collect the pieces after. Probably use alcohol or degreaser or something. Kind of scraped up like that, almost all in one piece, and then you kind of just peel it off. So that's all I'm doing. And then this stuff here that's on the side, I'm going to use a little bit of degreaser, but scrape it off the best you can. This is where you probably don't want to use metal, because this will scratch the paint. If you get it in one piece, it's the best way. It's a mess though. And then I'm just slowly vacuuming it out, clearing out the rest of it. Believe it or not, the top was pretty clear already, so I really just have to blow that out. So I'm gonna hit it with air. It's cleaned, and I tried degreaser on the sticky stuff. It didn't do much. Alcohol did better. If you're really into perfectionism, you can use WD-40. It will take all the sticky stuff off, but then you're going to have to clean the hell out of this with alcohol and wait for it to dry, probably. I'm not that concerned. I did the best I could. I used the opposite side of the trim tool that was still not scathed. It wasn't dented up, and I was able to get this fairly decent. I'm just gonna go one more time and put some degreaser on the edges here where stuff's gonna touch, and just make sure it's clean. I cleaned it once over with some cleaning stuff, just all-purpose cleaner. Clean the width of a couple inches on each side, but I'm going to go through actually with degreaser one more time. Other than that, it looks good, and I'm gonna go ahead and start putting this on. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. I used rubbing alcohol, 70% on some of the sticky stuff. I did use this industrial purple degreaser. I think I got this from Lowe's for $5, but it's quite old, so I can't remember, but it didn't do a whole lot. I scrubbed about 2 inches outside and inside of each thing several times, and then I dried it, and then I went through with compressed air one more time. As long as you got the major big stuff off, I think it will be okay. Just taking that off. Alright, good video. Okay. Alright, it's kind of self-explanatory. There's only one direction, but you'll have little tabs for the adhesive. So there's 2 on that side. One's for the top, and then one's for the side on each one. Each side has one pull tab. I could start in the middle, but I think it would just be easier to start on the edge to make sure you have it completely correct. So what I'm going to do is try to get this bottom lip. It's hard to see because it's actually black, but about 1.5 inches in, you can see you can feel it actually. So there's no, you can see there's a line right here. There's no metal until the line. I'm going to just focus on the bottom part to just kind of lock it in. Unfortunately, mine looks a little bit warped. I'm going to use a non-sticky pry tool, but you can just clean yours. This one's kind of rounded off. What I'm going to do is just try my best to align this exact corner here, because that's the easier part. I'm just going to tuck a little bit of the edge in for the top, and then I'm going to go to the other side to make sure it lines up first before I mess with anything else, because the top's probably key. Use this and just push. To be fair, my windshield did have a lot of excess stuff, especially right here, a lot of excess sealant. What's working is I'm just kind of putting this in the groove here and just prying it on. So that's good enough for now. So I'm just kind of aiming towards the bottom groove in that seeping and putting it on. I guess I should mention, don't take the adhesive off until you're getting the thing on this. So it looks okay. Good thing it's only 102 degrees in here. What I'm doing here is just putting it right in the back and then straight down like this. And then I'm just pushing the bottom in. You can kind of see that it just pushes forward ever so slightly and aligns. This is the way to do it. So this will be much easier. Just make sure you don't hit the adhesive layer. It's right on the edge, so it's hard to hit anyways. Once you just fold the flap up and just put the tool underneath it, you shouldn't hit it at all. I'd say out of everything, the tool you're probably going to need to do this entire job is a trim tool. If it's too sharp for the second part, you can just, I mean, you could sand it down, but you could, I mean, if you don't have sandpaper, you could just rub it on the cement until it's round enough to not cause trouble. Make sure you lift the rubber lip, the bottom. Make sure you lift that up before you put this under. Just walking back out and looking at this thing, it looks great. I'm going to attempt to do the top. This is probably why it's best to situate this thing as well as you can before taking off the adhesive. The adhesive sits right here on this edge, so that's why really you're just pushing down that. That's why you want to make sure these are aligned before you get it in. If you think you're missing a place like this, you can pay attention to where the excess stuff is. This might be where there is excess of the sealant. It was sticking out in certain places. It may not be uniform all the way across because of that, at least for me. It's almost perfect except right here because there's not a whole lot else they can do. What I'm doing here is kind of angles inwards, which you don't want, so I'm just going to put it right in the crevice here, push downwards, also push forward slightly. This side's not going as easy as the other one. Could be because I'm using one hand. Oh, there we go. So you'll feel it physically kind of click, and then you'll see it. If you watch the line, you'll see it push forward from the window sealant. So you take that off, and then I'm just kind of pushing in back and forth. Found it better, I think, to just run this with my fingers at first, even though they're dirty and I'm creating a mess everywhere. Especially this base part where it's a lot wider lip, you can. So I'm just running it down so there's no ripples, because earlier I was almost creating a ripple. Realistically, it's not going to be perfect. However, the adhesive seems to stick quite well, so now I'm just going to clean off the excess smudging from all this black stuff. Yay, done. I would say that took about an hour. Probably could have gone a lot faster. The windshield's dirty, but you can see it looks so much better. After sitting and being driven a while, the heat seems to have aligned this even better than normal, because right here there was a misalignment due to the sealant of the windshield. but it is so much better. The front end of the car was severely deteriorated by the look of the old one, so this one looks brand new without crumbling, gaps and spaces, and it's just amazing. So this hands down was the cheapest, easiest cosmetic fix for the front of a car for how bad it is. If yours isn't bad, then so be it. And it also adds to the back of the Aven unit, which I just recently installed, which makes the front of the car look better. If this helped you out, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.